I am Eleanor Dove. I did used to own the Dove Crest restaurant. I think we were open around 24 years. But I'm too old now, seeing as I'll be 96 my next birthday. I still like to do a little cooking, but my oldest daughter does most of the cooking. Once in a while I'll get up and do something. I guess I'm getting lazy in my old age. Well, I did meet Princess Redwing years and years ago. Very impressive woman. I wish I could be as brilliant as she was. I thought she was one of the smartest native women that I'd ever met. And she stayed with me for quite a number of years and taught me a lot of things. Some of them I remember and some I don't. But she was a fascinating woman, that's for sure. We would go to whatever Princess Redwing was having, and because that's the way my children had a way of learning their heritage. And it was always interesting, and they always were willing and wanted to go. So that made it nice. And well, of course, she was such a fascinating woman anyway. And I think my children were just as enthused as I was about her and the things that she taught them and that I learned with them. Well, she used to read tea leaves, and it was many people came. In fact, there was one person that came several times because everything she told him came to pass, and he come back. And it was a nice thing. I always thought it was always nice to serve tea in nice pretty cups and like that. And so we started having the afternoon teas, and then Redwing would read the tea leaves. And I know it was a fun thing, but some people took it really serious. And in fact, one gentleman came back several times to have his tea leaves, and he said everything that she said was going to happen, happened. People just came. Well, I think we had them certain afternoons. It seems like it was a Wednesday. And they came for tea. And then, of course, some of them had Redwing read their tea leaves. So it became a ritual, and people enjoyed it, and we enjoyed doing it, and having the people come for that reason. And because, you know, we're really off the beaten path there. And so that was one of the things that drew people there. I was always fascinated with beading. Not that I ever became a good beader, but was fascinating seeing her turn those little tiny beads into something viable. It's very interesting. It seemed to me that building was being sold, and they had no place to go, and Princess Redwing asked could they come up there to Dove Crest. At that time, where the museum was just a play area for my kids. So that turned it into something really good, because there was enough area around there without the children having that great big room. But at first, that's what it was. The museum were people were doers. Then I had the place. It was big enough. And at first, the artifacts and things were out in that building in the back. And but then there's something about the taxes, and that's when they went into the building, into the big room, because that back building, because it was a back building, even though it was a big building, it would have to be taxed. And so that's how they got into the room. Lunches in what's the museum room now. And then I thought, well, and then sometime I took people in and they took rooms, and I found I was fixing 3 meals a day. That was more than I had to cook for my husband. I only had to, he'd go to breakfast on his way to work, and so it was really like, unless it was the weekend, your kids are home and your husband's home, then of course you're doing meals. But during the week, I found I was getting up, getting breakfast for people, and didn't even have to get up and get breakfast for my husband, so I cut that out. Well, somebody told me Tamaqua was looking for a new home, and I just cannot imagine it because it belongs there at that museum where it is. But, of course, things progress, and probably get a better building, a bigger building, a building more accessible. And if that's what the museum wants, well, I'll want it with them. I know it needs a better home because, like you say, fireproof and all that. But in my heart, it belongs there.